Pineapple, 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 pineapple on my Hey Sass Squad, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to be testing out the Shadow Alolan Marowak that was now released in Pokemon Go. I happen to have one that doesn't have frustration on it, and it is ranked pretty high. Let's get into the battles. Alright, so we are going to start off this first set. These are actually my very first battles with this team. I'm leading Scrafty. I have the Shadow Alolan Marowak and Shadow Nidoqueen. So they do lead Victory Bell, which isn't that great for Scrafty. And I'm actually going to switch in Marowak, which maybe wasn't the best call, but they end up bringing in Bastiodon in, and I am actually running Shadow Bone Fire Blast, because I was thinking people would not be expecting Fire Blast. And unfortunately, it's still not enough to really take care of the Bastiodon. But we can kind of just bring in Scrafty and farm a little bit of energy. And having a little bit of energy lead now in this Victory Bell matchup does put us in a better position to try to get a shield. And that's pretty much what happens here. We're getting a little bit of lag. Honestly, the lag in this game the past few days has been very irritable. But I will be able to get a switch here to Nidoqueen. I'm able to get off my move before them, and now all shields are down. And it's a little scary. I don't know what they're going to throw here, but I'm going to shield it regardless. It does end up being the Acid Spray. And in the back line, they actually have Toxicroak, so this is really bad for us. And fortunately, I can get off of the Poison Fang, and I'm just barely going to get to a foul play here. Literally 1 HP in a dream. And because of that defense drop, we're going to be able to knock out the Toxicroak and pull off the first win. So yeah, this is my very first set, trying out the Shadow Alolan Marowak. So it's a little sloppy, this set. I mean, both of these sets are my first two, so they're a little sloppy, but we do get some nice wins here as well. So in this matchup, I could have actually switched the Nidoqueen as like a safe swap, but I end up staying in and start throwing foul plays. And it's crazy because I'm actually barely able to live, so I can get off both foul plays. I save all my shields. We do get one shield. And now it's like, what do I bring in here? I decided to actually bring in Marowak, thinking they didn't really have, like, this is probably not going to hurt this much, the Psycho Boost, excuse me. And since they decided to throw a Psycho Boost, we can pretty much just tank the next one easily. And I'm just going to try to get some energy lead here. So they do bring in the Stunfisk, and, you know, Shadow Bone is probably our best option here. I mean, Fire Blast technically would hurt too, but I just wanted to kind of preserve some energy here on my Marowak just in case I needed it. And they switch in the Ferrothorn. I'm going to go straight Earth Power, which is a great call here. We do end up getting a defense drop, which is huge, I think. I mean, yeah, we're going to be able to farm down the Ferrothorn at this point. And I think I'd just let this go through, because I'm pretty sure I can just barely live a Power Whip. And that way, we're just in a better situation against the Stunfisk. Because we do have energy for Shadow Bone, excuse me. Once we come back in, we just have to get one more Fire Spin off. And yeah, the shield will allow us to live and pull this off, and that will be enough to just barely knock it out. And that defense drop I don't think it matters. I think we were still going to farm down, but it does help. Alright, so this next match, we end up getting a Jellicent lead. Really great lead for us. We're just going to stay in and throw foul plays. There's really no reason to switch out or bait here. Like, baiting here is just not worth it. They are going to throw Ice Beam. I wasn't really sure if it was Bubble Beam or what, or if they're just going to throw straight Shadow Balls here, but they end up just throwing Ice Beam, and they switch in Talonflame here, and I don't know what I was thinking to just stay in here a little bit and try to get foul play off. I should have just insta-swapped the Nidoqueen to start racking up Poison Fang defense drops and just farmed, but yeah, they make a great call through the Flame Charge, and we are still able to farm. We have a little bit of energy here, but we're just going to try to throw Earth Powers on Jellicent, and more than likely they're going to shield this, so in a way it's not the worst case scenario that we did what we did. But I think I end up shielding here also, and trying to just get another Earth Power off on this Jellicent. So that way it's just kind of like so low that no matter what it happens here, it really can't do much. So I think I just bring in Scrafty kind of as like a sack, and I'm hoping that Marowak just has a good matchup in the back line, which is really undetermined. We do have a Scrafty, but the beauty of running Fire Blast here is it can actually win this matchup. But typically, we wouldn't be able to pull this off if we were running Bone Club, but because we are running Fire Blast, this is a winnable matchup. So yeah, we just barely pull off the W here. These are very close battles. But yeah, I'm like adjusting and trying to make better predictions, like figure out like what I have to do. I don't even know if this is really a good team or not, honestly. I was just kind of like, I've been loving Scrafty Nidoqueen core if it's not obvious this season. But yeah, I just thought Marowak could work on it since I was running the Coffin, but I just kind of realigned the team a bit. So yeah, we switch in our Nidoqueen in on the Mandibuzz, which is pretty decent for us. I mean, we can kind of like farm this. We take the first move. I'm going to shield this one, I think. And just go for a farm down to have energy for whatever they bring in. So yeah, we farm down the Manda, and pretty much at this point, they bring in the Scrafty, and you know, I could have probably gotten away with Earth Power here, but I end up throwing the Poison Fang, and they do not shield. Great call. But I guess in a way this isn't horrible, because now we'll at least still get that shield, and I end up just switching into my Scrafty and trying to like get off a lot of counter damage here, and we do get a little bit of energy. They bring in their Nidoqueen. We're just gonna let this go through, pretty much. I'm gonna go for the foul play, just try to get off residual damage here on the Nidoqueen if they don't want to shield, and fortunately for us, they actually don't shield. So that's pretty nice, and now we can pretty much bring in Marowak, and we should be in a pretty good position, because all we really have to do is shield the Earth Power. We know we can take a foul play from Scrafty at this HP range. So at this point, it's really just a matter of farming it down, I think. And I guess I just threw this in hopes of getting a defense drop. But yeah, even if they like knocked me out here, I feel like, well, they can't knock me out here. We're good. I think I even like, yeah, I think I was gonna switch to Nidoqueen, but maybe that would have been dumb to do that. All right, so this next match, this is a really good lead for us. You know, I was trying to adjust and figure out like what this person was trying to do, and I make a really bad call early on in the match thinking this might be bait, because I wasn't sure if there were, I was like, is this a Focus Blast, Shadow Punch, or like what is this? And I wasn't really sure if that would be a Sludge Bomb or not, but I shouldn't have shielded that because they were staying in for a reason, you know what I mean? Like normally if someone's staying in on a matchup like that, you should probably be weary, but yeah, I make a weird call to like switch into my Marowak to try to like flip the messed up call I made, because I don't think I was going to be able to, I was just going to feed energy at that point, I feel like. And in comes the Bastiodon, which is not that great for us, unfortunately. We're in a pretty bad position. I think I bring Nidoqueen in here thinking like, oh, I'll just tank a fire flamethrower or Stone Edge. And you know, honestly, this is, I wasn't counting this match really, which was kind of at my detriment, because even this call to throw Power Up Punch here is kind of a bad call. Like, it's still like not really, it's okay. The reason why it could have been a little different mainly is we could have maybe got some residual damage, but to be fair, there really wasn't anything we were doing in this match with Medicham in the back line. The Medicham kind of sealed the deal, so even if we made those little micro misplays, I think it really came down to that very first shield that we didn't do on Gengar. That is probably the one thing that I could have just done better, but that back line was kind of tough for us to deal with. Alright, so GG's to all those trainers, by the way, and this is the last set I'm going to show you today. This battle, I wanted to see if it was Snarl or not, because I felt like if it was Snarl and I switched in my Marowak, that would have been horrible, because it could just start spamming crunches. But we do end up switching out, and they bring in Mandibuzz. Kind of insane, because they're not going to shield this, but look how much damage this does. Really crazy, right? But yeah, this is a tough battle. I probably should have insta-swapped at the very beginning, so I didn't take any damage on Scrafty. But yeah, here too, I probably should have shielded that. I don't know, it's kind of hard to say because we're kind of just like saving our shields in this type of battle. And unfortunately, we're not really going to get much usage because we don't have like a great, like they're Charmer Double Dark. Bruh. So our team can't really align in this type of battle currently. You know, it's a little tough. So unfortunately for us, like even if we get like all this farm down, we're at such low health at this point that it's just game over. There's no move. Like if I threw the Earth Power here actually first in this matchup, I would have won. But for whatever reason, this guy is like a bad lad. Like I guess like just going for the BM or something. It was like insane. I could have actually flipped that, but great game. Alright, so this next one, we have a well-run lead, which is really good for us. We're just going to stay in absolutely no problem here, right? We're going to throw foul play, and we do catch the Nidoqueen switch in. I knew they were maybe going to try to get energy and switch out because it didn't really make sense otherwise if they're staying in. And usually in situations like that where I know they have switch, I don't like going for power punch. I like just going for pure damage with foul play, knowing that they're more than likely not going to shield. But perfectly enough, we stay in, maybe a little bit too long, you could arguably say. Again, I was just trying to figure stuff out still, but we're going to throw the Earth Power. We shield the Earth Power. Fortunately, that's what they throw. But the reality of this is they have the Icicle Sphere on Wellrun, and this is going to one-shot our Nidoqueen. And I'm not going to shield here. I don't see the value in shielding in this situation, so we're going to actually come in with Scrafty and just try to rack up counter damage, and we're also going to just let this Icicle Sphere go in. So I should have known. In this situation, we just have to predict the Earthquake. So they don't throw Earthquake here, they actually just try to bait me, but the thing is, they can't even get to Earthquake. So we're going to take an Icicle Sphere here. And pretty much, I don't know what they have in the back line. They end up having Trevenant, but we have so much energy, and you will be surprised to know that double Shadow Bone right here is just enough to outpace this Trevenant, and we're going to be able to just knock it out, which is insane, honestly. Alright, so in this next battle, we end up getting another Shadow Granbull. I'm going to insta-swap to the Alolan Marowak, and we're going to just throw Shadow Bones right away here. The thing is, like, this charm damage actually still hurts, being a Shadow variant. But fortunately for us, we are in a situation where we can still farm it down and have a little bit of energy for whatever comes in. So they just let their Granbull go, which makes me wonder, do they have something to deal with Scrafty? And in comes their Marowak. We're able to get a Shadow Bone off, which is nice, get that shield, we get a defense drop. I end up switching directly into my own Scrafty because shields are down, we have one shield. We already saw their Charmer. There's more than likely not another Charmer on their team. And yeah, Scrafty has a great matchup here. So because it's a Shadow Skarmory too, it's like I'm just going to go straight for that. Foul play, save energy, we foul play their Marowak, and that will be this match as well. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter because we have Nidoqueen still, and our own, nothing like it has. I mean, if it had Shadow Ball, I'm pretty sure Shadow Ball here would knock me out, but Shadow Bone won't knock me out. Alright, in the next battle, we do get a Shadow Swampert lead, which, this was kind of a interesting match if I remember correctly. I think he just stopped it. Let me see if this is the same one. So I'm just going to throw straight up foul play. They do end up shielding, which I thought was interesting. They like weren't attacking here. And somehow, yeah, they weren't attacking. They have the Hydro Cannon, but then they throw this and I'm like, this is definitely another Hydro Cannon. But somehow it's an Earthquake. I don't know. Am I crazy? Like, was I just not seeing their fast attacks or something? But, I was just assuming it was another Hydro Cannon. It just felt that's like way too fast for Earthquake. But anyways, it's okay. We switch in Nidoqueen here on the Cresselia. And we get that. We connect our Earth Power, which is nice. They end up having Talonflame here in the back line. And I'm just going to go Shadow Bone. They let it go through, which is good. You know, this is kind of a weird call. I should have absolutely shielded here. But I decided not to. It just should have been pretty obvious it was going to be Brave Bird. But yeah, this is a really tough scenario for us. I mean, even though Cresselia is really low, this is just, I mean, we can more than likely take a Grass Knot is what I thought. Like, even if they have double Grass Knot, more than likely we're going to just barely live and we're going to get off another Poison Fang and we're going to just win right there and then. So we got kind of fortunate there. It comes down to the wire, but still able to pull off a win. So very nice, GG. Alright, so in this next battle, we end up getting a Stunfisk lead. And they end up switching into Azu. We're going to bring in the Nidoqueen. Pretty much is just like a hard counter type of situation. A lot of pressure here. We're going to commit one shield against the Azu. So we don't get hit by an Ice Beam. But yeah, otherwise we're just kind of like farm down here. Get rid of the Azu. We have energy for Stunfisk. We're going to straight Earth Power. More than likely they're going to shield here because they don't want to get hit by it. That's pretty much what happens. They actually get a defense drop as well, which is a little unfortunate for them. I'm going to just let this go through because I know like keeping a shield is probably best case scenario here. We already won alignment. So they bring in Venusaur and we're going to bring in Alolan Marowak, and they end up throwing Sludge Bomb first. I didn't really understand that call. I felt Double Frenzy Plant does more damage. But they are going to throw another Frenzy here. But at this point, we're in a really good position. We're actually going to be able to shield and just farm the Venusaur down. And I think I was like, I want to go for the Fire Blast. I don't care if I get knocked out. I just want to straight up Fire Blast this Stunfisk. Because it doesn't really matter. We have our Scrafty here to finish up. And we win pretty much just based on that matchup. But yeah, I just wanted to Fire Blast it. And unfortunately, we weren't able to do that. Anyways, I think that's all of my battles for today. So we have 8 wins, 2 losses, just kind of messing around with Alolan, Shadow, Marowak. So yeah, had some fun with that, and I hope you're all doing well. And thanks again for tuning into my video. If you got this far, definitely consider liking, commenting, subscribing, because it does help my content reach a wider audience here on YouTube. And with that being said, the Sass Squad is getting stronger each and every day. Good morning, evening, afternoon, you're tuning in. I'll catch you in the next one.